Hi guys, this is Milena, and today in this video I would like to share something very personal. And I'm sharing it because it's probably related to a lot of us, how we have seen ourselves, our lives, the things that we strive toward, the things that we try to accomplish and achieve. And it's one of the biggest things that keeps us on that hamster wheel, trying and working and working and trying and working and trying and trying and trying. And it keeps us in that loop of really working so hard, feeling like we're moving forward and not really truly getting anywhere in the meantime. And what I'm talking about is that I was looking at my own life, and of course I've used a lot of spiritual tools, done a lot of retreats, read probably a train full of books and all of those other things to try and look for things to improve specific aspects of my life. Because from a very young age, I believe that the things that you don't like, you can change. You can create whatever it is that you want to create. And of course, that's true. But at some point, I looked at my life and I saw that I've been in a loop of trying to achieve 3 specific goals and see if you can relate to them in one way or another. I wanted to improve my relationship and be in my dream relationship, the relationship that I wanted to experience. I've been trying to to reach my dream shape, the way that my body looks. In other words, tone my muscles and lose weight and blah, blah, blah. And the third one was to advance in my career or make more money so that I can have the freedom and the life that I wanted, right? So in one way or another, even when I would wish for things, it would have to do with one of those 3 things. Of course, that was outside of when something would happen or a close person would have a problem or ill health. And then obviously our focus turns to that, and the only thing that we want is for this person to feel better, for us to feel better. But then inevitably our focus in our lives will turn to this. My relationship, improve my relationship, be in that relationship. And if I felt like I was in that relationship, then I would focus on the other 2. And then it was always the body. It was never fit enough, skinny enough, not in the best shape of my life enough, or there could always be an advancement in the career. I could always make more money and all of those other things. But at some point I recognized for years and years and years and years and years, it felt like I was stuck in that loop. And that was the goal. And that was the goal. And that was the goal. And I would keep pushing it further, and that wasn't enough. And now the next step in that, and now the next step in that. And it could always be better and always be better and always be better. But why do we want these things is a very huge question to ask ourselves. To me, at some point recently, it felt like that was just a loop trying to keep me going in that sense and keeping my focus really narrow. And I said, what if I drop these goals? What if that stopped being my goal? What if my goal was to simply be my own true authentic expression, whatever that meant at any given time? And I wasn't necessarily trying to achieve or become anything else. What if I experienced myself as part of the whole, part of humanity, part of the community, and I wanted us as a whole to create a completely different reality of experience, to raise our level of awareness, of consciousness to a degree where those things became unnecessary or didn't matter or just happened instantaneously without effort and weren't even a factor. What about that? And I understood that these goals that I had for so many years had kept my focus really narrow and kept me on the treadmill, trying to reach further, trying to be even better, trying to be even more. And at some point, it felt like an exhausting journey and doesn't really give me that satisfaction and fulfillment, that joy. And if I simply focused on being in a state of acceptance, of appreciation of where everything was, especially those 3 elements in my life, that I could focus on something else. And then I started feeling a lot more in the center of enjoying the step of the journey, whatever part of it I was in. And I started seeing myself as more than the person who had these specific goals, health, wealth, and happiness. And there's nothing really wrong with them. And if that's what you're trying to achieve, absolutely milk that journey for as long as it serves you and fulfills you. But for what it's worth, I'm sharing it just in case many others like me were stuck in that loop, looking at those things and feeling like never really satisfying journey of trying to reach for something, where at the end of the day I was looking for a specific state of being, for being part of a much larger picture. And when the elevation of consciousness and awareness and our capacity to create our life consciously was more at the focus of it, as opposed to specific goals that now from that perspective felt tiny and unimportant. I'm sharing this part of my journey in case it can help even one more person to shift their focus and perspective and maybe get off the hamster wheel for a while and see how that feels. And then maybe you can get on it again if that's what you like, or you can tweak certain things and goals or the way we see things. But that's something that's part of our own expansion of awareness, of perspective, and what we set for ourselves as goals. And ask ourselves the most important question: why do I think I want these things? It's because we believe I'm going to feel better, I'm going to feel happier, I will have achieved the dream. Whose dream is that anyway? Is it truly ours? Or do we have dreams that are much more expansive and bigger than that? I personally believe that we do. And if you're not quite sure how to navigate that for you, if you feel like you have had goals that were never really fully reached and satisfying, you can always book a session at askmilena.com. Don't forget to subscribe to my newsletter as well as the channel, and click on the bell so that you can get notified of all future videos. I'll see you next week. Bye bye, guys.